Hello and welcome to a pedal build video. In today's video we're going to take this, which is a DSP reverb board for a karaoke machine, and we are going to turn that into guitar pedal. It's actually super easy. It's a fun little project that you can do, just before Christmas. Reverb is the perfect Christmas music effect, so yeah, I don't know. You could give this to someone as a gift, for example, maybe, because it will go fairly quickly to make into a pedal. It's just a couple of wires that needs to go into places. You need the board, you need the little cable clipper things that you get, you need a switch, and you need two mono jacks or stereo jacks. I have a stereo jacks, but I'm gonna use it as a mono jack. You need a buck converter, and yeah, this is what that video was hinting at me building, so good on you. There's only one of you who's going to get that joke, but it's for you. You're going to need a box, and you're going to need to drill holes for the switch and the jacks for the power, and then two holes for the controls of the board, and a little window or something for the display, because if you can't see it, there in the middle there is a display. And I cut a square using a file, and then I inlaid a piece of glass to make a little window, because I thought that would look nice. You need a little hole for an LED as well, which I forgot to show you that I have an LED. So let's just jump into this and start building it. I promise you it's going to go fairly quick, and it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is mount all the hardware in the pedal, and as you can see, I've done it. Everything is screwed in place. We just have to take these wires that we get with the kits, and we just have to plug them in one at a time. And this one up here we'll start with, because that's the input. These, they can get pulled over here. The ground will be separated out from the other two. These will get pulled down, tucked away, and moved over to the switch. These are the left and right channels, so if you want to do something fun and interesting with those, this is the time to do it. But I'm gonna just cut these wires off, and I'm gonna strip them back. And stripping the wires means taking off that plastic shielding that we've all learned to love over the years. And I'm gonna take a piece of the wire I cut off and strip that back as well. And now I'm gonna pre-tin the wires, and I'm also gonna pre-tin first leg on this, and I'm also gonna pre-tin this wire that I have extra. And we connect the first wire to the first leg, and then we also connect these two wires like so. And now we can just pull this wire aside like so that we can see how much we need, and cut off enough so we can sort it into the middle leg right there, like so. We also need a tiny little jumper cable from the first row's last leg right here to the last row's last leg. So just there. And it can be a little bit fiddly to get these connections in there, but you just have to be a little bit patient with it, and you will get it. I believe in you, so you should believe in you as well. And now if we look up here, we have a ground wire comes off, and we just need to pull it over and connect it to the ground of this jack. So we pre-tin our wire, and we just put it in place. And the ground connection on a jack is the sleeve. So if you look inside here, you can see how it's connected to the inner ring thing here. And that's the ground. And now we can move on to the next step. The next step is the lead connection. And on a mono jack, you just have two connections. And if you know what ground is, then you know what the lead is. You can just pull this wire over here, like so, and give ourselves a little bit extra wiggle room, and just cut it off and strip it back. Solder this cable in place, like so. But basically what will happen is you plug your guitar in here, and your guitar goes here, and it either goes through this little cable here, or it goes up here and goes into the board. So plug in the cable like so, pull it under and away, separate away the ground. We're gonna just use it for something else. And we pull these wires up here like so, and we give ourselves a little bit extra, and we cut them off. And then we strip these back, and we solder both of the cables in to the last row's first leg right there. Okay, and then we just repeat the same thing for this. So we have the ground wire connecting right there, and then we have the lead wire to the middle leg of the last row, and the two wires coming from the out of the board going to the first of the last row connection right there. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take our buck converter, make it ready to go into the pedal. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a little spacer with a tiny drip of super glue, and then we just put it on the back like so. And that means nothing is gonna touch the back of the enclosure, or at least hopefully it won't, because we don't want it to circuit out or anything like that. The next thing you're gonna do, or you can do it before like I did, you need to put down a little bit of solder on each of these 4 connectors right here. Okay, so once the buck is put in place, and try to put it somewhere where it's not too much in the way. I put it in the middle like that, and I hope it's gonna help me do things the right way. Anyway, we have this connector, it goes right there. We just need to plug it in, and then we have to just pull the wires around everything. And as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit fiddly with all the wires, but we need to just get them over here to the bucks out. And if you look closely, you have a little minus and a little plus. And the plus is for the red wire, so we move it over there, and we try to see just how much we need. And we give ourselves some wiggle room, because there's nothing worse than cutting wires too short and having to either splice on more wires onto the existing wires, or having to just replace them completely and take everything apart. So we pre-tin our wire, and we can, with the help of some pliers maybe, get it into place. And then we do the same thing here on the ground. We take our wire, we make sure it is where we want it to be, and we give ourselves some extra, and then we can just take the wire and with our pliers attach it. And then it looks like that. I hope you can see it, but you have a tiny little plus there. It will be easier when you're doing this to see them. And then we just have to do the same thing here. Attach a in plus and an in minus cable. And since we have these cables here, we're going to use those. Now I've pulled a black wire through under the board, and together with this minus wire from the buck, I'm going to connect them right here, like so. And I'll leave the buck wire alone, and I'll pull this other wire over here, the minus leg of the LED. And I'll cut it down to size, and I'll strip it back, and then I'll solder it to this round leg of the LED, like so. And there we have it. And I'll pull this wire up here, and I'll cut it down to size, giving myself a little bit extra. And then I'll take another lead wire together with this one from the buck, and I'll attach it to the last leg of this connector here, leaving the middle one alone, like so. And then I'll pull this wire over here, and I'll attach it on the switch to the middle row's first leg, like so, just straight from there to there. And then we attach in the middle leg of the middle row, which I jokingly sometimes call the middle of the middle, and yeah, I don't know why. I have a bad sense of humor. We connect a tiny little jumper cable, and then we pre-tin the other end, and then we attach a resistor to the end of this wire, and the resistor is there to make sure we don't have the LED burn out on us. Now, what resistors should you use? You can use a 2.2 or a 3.3K resistor, whatever you feel like using. 3.3 will make the LED a little bit dimmer than maybe it's supposed to be, but it will work. And then we can put on a little bit of heat shrink tube, which I always forget to do, and some of you are probably going to laugh at me for saying that I'm going to put it on, because it's like I always want to put it there, and you guys know that, or at least some of you know that, and I always forget to do it. I don't know why. It's one of those things that haven't become a habit for me yet. And then this resistor gets connected to the positive leg of the LED, so, and then we can fiddle around this shrink tube with our soldering iron. Don't use the tip for this because you don't want to gunk it up, which I don't know if you can see that I'm using the lower part of it. I'm just heating up the shrink tubing so that it starts shrinking. If you're new to this and this is your first video and you're wondering, that's why it's called shrink tube, because it's basically shrinks when you heat it up. You can use a lighter or a soldering iron, or you can even use matches if you want to. It just needs a little bit of heat, and there you go. Now it's shrunken up, and hopefully it will stay there and everything will be good. And now we only have one thing left to do, which I've already done. And if you've seen my video on buck converters, it will be linked in the description below. You will know that that little golden screw right there needs to be adjusted, because through this you'll get 9 volts, but this pedal takes a 5. So you need to adjust this one so that it is 5 volts. I've already done it, and hopefully no one's been sneaking around in here changing that around. But you can't plug this in until you've adjusted that. So if you don't know how to do it, you need a multimeter, and you need to watch my other video on that one, okay? If we turn this over, we have the pedal right here, and now we can plug it in, like so, and there we have it. And the LED will light up, and in this light it might not be super noticeable because the lights over us are so powerful. But now we can move this around, and we can select whatever we want to select. And I hope you can see the numbers changing. I'm going to zoom in. There we have the first one, and then we can just move up. And just by pressing this in, we can get different. And this is the volume. Now let's put on some knobs. And I think I did a mistake in deciding what sort of knobs to have, because I chose these knobs. And if I'm correctly, which I might not be, these knobs might actually be too big. So I'm putting this down here, like so. And now I put it into the middle because it has a notch in the pot that lets you do that. And now I can move this there, and I can move it there. And as you can see, the knob is too big. It goes over the screen a little bit. So I'm gonna have to find other knobs, but we're gonna use these for now, and we'll see. Hopefully by the next time you see this pedal, I will have found something cooler than these silly knobs. I also don't like them because if you look, you can see there's a lot of space. So they don't go all the way down, which you can't have this one go all the way down because you need to be able to press it. But yeah, it doesn't look very nice with these knobs. But yeah, there it is. You can move this one around, it works. And you can move this one around, and it works. And then we can just flip it over and put the back plate on and put the screws in. And there we have it. Here's the bypass signal, and I'm using a tiny little 9-volt practice amp. And now we can press this, and let's just I don't know how well you can hear. No. Sorry. Hear the difference. I feel like it got less noisy with the effect on. That's kind of cool. No. So yeah, here we have a couple of the effects, and I'm just randomly jumping. Oh, what the hell is this? Or some sort of octave thing, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. I gotta say, I enjoy this. I have a bunch of, or not a bunch of, but I have a couple at least. More than a couple. Of multi-effect pedals. And when it comes to like reverb and delays and stuff, this is pretty good actually. Obviously, it needs to be plugged into something real and not just this little toy. Ooh. Yeah. And obviously I realize someone wants to... Ooh. Oh, is this like an auto-tune? Auto-tuned guitar? Oh my god, I think this is an auto-tune. I feel like I'm playing Kanye West's voice. Yeah. And then back to the real. I mean the bypass. Well, there you have it. I realize that some of you want me to plug this into a real amp and show you all the sounds and all of that. And yes, if you want me to do that, yeah, this video needs to get 100 likes because it's 100 effects in one thing. It's going to take a lot of energy of me to do. And this is, you know, not really a demo channel and things like that. So yeah, I've never asked for likes before, but it's just, I don't want to do it. So yeah, and I mean going through all the sounds, not just doing a quickie like I just did. So yeah, here's the guitar I played for anyone who wants to know. And yes, some of you might have noticed, if you look real closely, that it has 2 holes. And that's because, and you might have also noticed that I accidentally pressed the button instead of the knob. That's because if there is something I don't like about this, it's the pressing the knob thing. So I'm gonna wire up 2 separate foot switches, 2 more foot switches. So we will have 3 in a row. And the middle one will be the bypass, and then this one will be pulling the effect up, and this one will be pulling the effect down. So basically, it will do what this one does, but it will do both the going up a step and pressing in the effect. Because I feel like it makes more sense to me to have just that. Obviously, I still want the controls because maybe I'm, you know, playing and sitting down like I'm doing right now and I have the pedal in front of me and all of that. But yeah, I didn't do it in this video because I wanted this to just be a simple, easy getting started, making the pedal, and I didn't want to jump into like modding things. Also, if you look on the back, there is a silver cylinder thing on it, and I think that might be, but I could be wrong, I haven't really checked. I think that might be a clock, and if you don't know, some pedals have clocks in them, which is a part, like a resistor kind of thing, in layman's terms, and that sets the sort of rhythm part, or the speed. So basically we could mod it and change that out, potentially. Another thing is also there is a plugin for a USB, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna plug this in and see if I can like change the code in it or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that out, do some research, but hopefully I'm gonna be able to change this around and mod the effects and the way the thing works. For example, I would very much like for the volume to be 12 o'clock be basically bypass volume, and then the rest be adding volume. Because to me that just makes more sense. The way this is now, if you want the same volume as bypass, you have to put it to max. And to me that's just kind of useless. I don't mean to be mean to the creators of this, but it might work in a karaoke machine, fine, I don't know. I don't actually sing karaoke, so I don't know. But in a pedal, the thing we've done now, I don't want that, I don't like that. I would much rather have 12 o'clock be the same volume as bypass, and then having the option of either having lower than bypass or more than bypass. To me that makes sense. If it doesn't to you, you'll have to explain it in the comments below. But anyway, in the next video you see this pedal, we'll be adding 2 more switches. I can't promise you that video is going to come soon, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that it doesn't take a year at least. Yeah, it's almost Christmas. I have a lot of things to do, and I hope you understand that that's the way it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you. This is super simple to make. Like, it's even easier than the fuzz pedals I've shown you how to make. This is like ridiculous, and you get 99 effects. The board I think is somewhere around $13 if you go American dollars. Then you obviously have to buy a box and the other parts, but those parts are not that expensive. The most expensive part, except the board, is a box, and yeah, it's a really cheap pedal for, I don't know, let's say $15 or something like that. It's probably someone who's going to get mad at me now because they're fact checking it and looking up the prices of all the parts while I'm just sitting here throwing something out. But yes, it's, even if it's $20, it's still, you know, you can't get 100 pedals for $20. So it's still pretty cool. Now, granted, most of the effects in this is actually just different amounts of the same effect. Like, do you want 10% echo or do you want 20% echo? But it's still cool. And it does have the potential, which I haven't checked obviously, but it does have the potential of being something that you can, you know, program and change things around, and you might be able to have custom effects on every row. And if that's a possibility, it could be potentially really cool, because then maybe you could even have like different fuzzes or something. I don't know. Personally, I don't really like digital fuzz, but anyway, I've already spoken for too long. This video doesn't need to be 6 hours. That's the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. Go and build this if you want to. Until next time. Also, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and check me out on Instagram. God damn it, I was about to forget to say all that shit. I really don't like promoting stuff, but I have to do it because the bigger this channel gets, the bigger the opportunity that someone that needs help with building something gets the chance to see the videos. So you're not just helping me out, honestly, by pressing the like button and subscribing and all of that. You're helping everyone else who is also trying to find my videos or something like that, who doesn't know that they want to find my videos. Anyway, I'm gonna quit now. Stay awesome and cool, and go and build this pedal and have a lot of fun playing it over Christmas. And yeah, I'll be back real soon with another video. Take care, and hugs and kisses. Why not? I don't know. I don't know how to end this video.